Welcome to the Portraits Podcast. This is She's Got the Power. We've just completed round 11 of the AFLW season. Port Adelaide winning what is easily historic, the most historic probably game of the club's history, I guess. I'm almost lost for words in the beginning of the podcast, but that's the way this podcast should even really start. From the heart, you just go, whoa, 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 whoa. That is enormous. We just like in '97, Port Adelaide Football Club got over the line against their local rivals in a historic win. And just share your thoughts with me, Gavin Watson. Welcome, Gavin, to the podcast, mate.
G'day.
You were there at Norwood. Lucky you. I'll sit back and hear about your whole experience and share with me just the whole night.
Yeah, so there was, once the game was underway, there was just short of 5,500 people at the parade, which made for a fantastic atmosphere.
Yeah.
There certainly more Crow supporters than Power supporters, but in terms of split, it was maybe 60-40. So it was a great atmosphere. The game itself, as we discussed, I mean, this was Port's best chance, and most people tipped the Crows, but the game, Port started slowly. Being at the ground, Port were very reactionary. There were lots of occasions where the players were just waiting to see what was going to happen in terms of either the bounce or what the Crows players were going to do.
Sure.
So in terms of at quarter time, it was like there was a minor reset. From the second quarter onwards, the intensity of the Power players lifted, and the contest and the pressure that we put on the Crows lifted significantly. And in the second quarter, we got on top and kicked, what was it, 4 goals to... We kept them scoreless in the second and third quarters.
Scoreless in the second quarter stood out.
And the damage was done by three-quarter time. There was a few people in the crowd sort of talking deja vu, St Kilda game revisited when the Crows kicked a couple of goals. The reality is that the Crows finished stronger, but again, the better side definitely won. And you could tell after the game just how excited the players were. They ran the shield over to the Alberton crowd, the cheer squad. Photos there, they were so excited, sang that song on the ground. Got around all of the supporters. Crows at foundation side.
Yep.
As you can see, a few weeks ago when we played Brisbane, Brisbane just had that little bit of better consistency for a longer period of time.
Yep.
So whilst it looks highly unlikely that we'll play finals this year,
sure,
the takeaway from this game is that we can mix it with one of the clubs that's considered to be one of the best in the competition. Obviously,
absolutely,
for this and last season, North Melbourne are the benchmark. But this win is by far the strongest win that the side's been able to have. But when you look at, like, we beat Melbourne as well, another side that's considered to be a red-hot chance of playing in the grand final. So amongst some of the disappointments during the season, there's some fantastic firsts that the side can build on, and the side was just so excited to pull off a famous Power victory against the Crows out at Norwood. My son won the supporter of the round at the last home game of the season, so
cool.
He was fortunate enough to get a little goodies bag and be in the guard of honour with a brother and sister and some aunties. Got a Pride round scarf, got a bucket hat, and
nice.
Also got I guess what they call the media T-shirt as well. So he's all set for summer, and
lovely.
Again, just a great opportunity to build on the the support and love of the club and what they're about.
Mistake, Port Adelaide, yeah, winning 7-10-52 to 6 goals, 9-45. A 7 point win. Yeah, we kept them in arm's distance at one stage, having a 20 to 30 point, I think, the 20 point margin at one stage. But, yeah, obviously, yeah, I think it was 26 point margin, a 30 point margin. It really was getting a bit comfortable, but also you knew that they were always going to come back. And, a 7 point win is just brilliant. Just it's a win where you can, again, we've been saying that they've been building for this now almost 2 years.
Yes, yeah. So every time we've played the Crows, we've gotten closer. So it went from 60 points the first time to 30 points to 14 points, and then this occasion we've got the 7 point win. So there's been consistent improvement, and again, that's one of the things that we've spoken about. It's just as the side gets more pre-seasons, they get stronger, fitter bodies, so they can match it with your Crows, Brisbane, hopefully in the coming seasons, the North Melbourne, just because they've got players that have played the 8, 9, 10 seasons. So they've got years of weight sessions and match fitness in the body. Yep. So, again, fantastic result. Great game, and finishing the season in a very positive manner.
Now I've got the match report in front of me, and Abby Darrick, her name is just highlighted again and again, and she was really consistent, as you say. Even when we were really being challenged, she was being consistent, getting a lot of the ball, and just was always there in the fray. So well deserved for the showdown medal for Abby.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So she was either in and under it at the centre square. Some of the contests, when they were kicking towards the parade end of the ground, she'd often play a kick behind. So if and when the Crows were able to bring the ball out, she was able to, with a trademark booming kick, put it back in even deeper. And deserved winner. From my perspective, I reckon a special mention is definitely warranted to Jasmine Stewart.
Yeah,
she had been out of the side and probably considered a bit more of a depth player this year, with the view to trying to get experience in some of the youngsters. And with Kirsty Lamb having been out injured, she's played the last 2 weeks. Her second quarter was just phenomenal. Like, I think she had 7 or 8 kicks, 4 clearances, 5 tackles, just a mountain of work in the second quarter, and she kicked a goal as well. And certainly set the side up in the momentum of getting on top of the Crows. The other thing of note is that throughout the game there were a few Crows players that wanted to go the niggle. Eloise Jones, after the siren, when at half-time, had a shot for goal, and Ash Woodland took them up just to make sure they didn't score, and so she's just run up and kind of gone through her. And so it was good. Ebony O'Day wasn't standing for it. She put her on her bum and sort of had a few stern words with her about, like, that's not on. And the other thing that makes it interesting is that there's so many players in both sides that are actually good friends off the field, and they're quite open about it.
Sure.
But equally, hearing some of the players when they were spoken to saying, look, once the game starts, it's all bets are off. We're here to play for Port. And so that's good to hear, and it was great to see.
Again, the Twin Towers, Port Adelaide's Twin Towers of Tahu and Gemma Houghton, just obviously hitting the scoreboard early, just puts that pressure on the opposition. And as you say, Jasmine Stewart, when you mentioned those by the numbers with 10 touches and a goal in that 4-0 blitz,
yes,
that was just awesome. Other kind of things was standing out for me was obviously just the ability to keep it inside 50 and just keep that pressure, because that's something that I've seen. Adelaide is a really good side. They just made Adelaide look ordinary at their own home.
They did. They kept the pressure on, and they kept turning the ball over. And a couple of the Crows players get an awful lot of the football, but so many of their disposals were rushed, either like the old kicking it up a chimney or just throwing a handball out into space without hitting a target, just because of the pressure that was put on. It was one of those games at the end of it where you'd say that different stages, every single player at some point in time did something really, at least one thing really positive to contribute to the win.
I agree.
And
all played well.
Again, yeah, correct. And again, that's the excitement in the side after the game for the fact that they'd managed to get a win over the Crows was fantastic to see. It was so deserved, and they were soaking it up, and so they should have.
Now, what stands out for me too is the 23 goals that Indy Tahu has got, as you say, starting in the back line, and then kind of goes forward and has kicked another 2 to her leading tally. Like she's leading the AFLW
most goals kicked in an AFLW season. It is the 23.
Wow, that stands out. That's pretty cool.
And I can't remember the exact number of games that she's played. But I was reading a stat that she played, for example, like 50-odd games and kicked 5 goals. And this season, she's played 11 games and kicked 23. Nice. But when you consider that of those 11 games, the first 3 weren't even in the forward line. So in 8 games, so she's basically averaging 4 goals a game. And again, you'd be paying big money at any level of football to have a key forward kicking 4 goals a game for a season.
Absolutely. Nice, brilliant stuff. Any other players stood out?
Oh, look, Ash Woodland definitely has stamped her dues as a midfielder. Her transition from being a full forward that came across to Port from the Crows. The last year and absolutely this year, she's transitioned to being a very serviceable midfielder that wins her own share of the hard footy. One of the advantages for Port is when she's bringing the ball into the 50, that she knows what a forward likes the ball to be like. So when she's delivering the ball when she can, that's what she's looking to do. The other players that made the best players that we haven't discussed is, again, Matilda Scholes. That's almost goes without saying. That's just expected, and particularly when the Crows dropped their first choice ruck because they said she was out of form. Seems like a bizarre choice on their part. Molly Brooksby and Ella Heads. Both of them have got fantastic running power, but they read the ball well, good with their hands over the head, and so they were the ladies in the best players.
I guess what I wanted to kind of just discuss, get a little philosophical again, just after a win like that, kind of let's just talk kind of the mental science of sport or whatever, and just the players' thoughts. How does that one win against their local rival, that's just something huge, how do you think that just shapes, because it's got, what do we got, just the GWS this week, and then we're out potentially
in the lap of the footy gods, yes.
Yeah, so most likely the next proper game they play for points is 2026. So I guess I'm just how that was the final that they kind of wanted and won by 7 points in a final, quote unquote final for just if not for the collective, for also individuals. Can you just do your best to kind of like share your thoughts on the inner, I guess, the mental kind of winning edge and that mindset that our club takes for pre-season? I know this is I won't be doing a podcast with you for the GWS game, so my next podcast with you will be talking like the season review in a few weeks' time, and so I guess that's why I just want to pick your brain on, almost like that is the big game. That was like the Boki game for the boys, for the men's back several a month or so ago. So yes, just share with us your thoughts on actually climbing that mountain and actually winning that game.
Look, last year the side had a fantastic end to the season. They were good enough to play finals and then gave a fantastic account of themselves. This year was seen about consolidating. The draw that they've had this year, like again, that's one of those hindsights. They've only played. They haven't played Carlton. That's the only side in the top 8 that they haven't played. So if they played everyone once, they would have been playing 5 bottom 8 sides and won top eight side for the remainder of the season.
And that
So
stood
all
out
of
for me.
that,
It stood out for me too. That's that Adelaide are 6-5, and we're 5-6. That's how much we've bridged that gap. That look at
absolutely,
that
yes.
stands out for me like massively, Gavin. In the time that we've even been doing this podcast, that just blows my mind. That 11 games, that's 5-6 and 6-5 to the Adelaide Crows. That's just insanely. That's a pat in the back to Lauren and the team and the girls.
Oh, definitely. And what do they take away from it? Well, this year they've beaten Melbourne, who's second on the ladder, and is seen as being a red hot chance of playing in the grand final.
Competitive with North Melbourne and even went a first step further with Hawthorn from that win last year. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's kind of no
definitely.
accident now. That proves it was no accident.
And then I guess the flip side of that is just the start of the season against Fremantle, the
Yep.
game against St Kilda, which is
Yes.
the really one that sticks in the craw,
Yep.
and the West Coast game as well.
Yes.
So in all of those games, we played patches of great footy, but we didn't play four quarters. And on each occasion, that ultimately cost us the game. And
Yep.
then the other one on top of that was the Geelong game as well.
Of
So
course.
the most important thing that they will have taken away from it, though, is that look, we belong in this competition.
Yeah.
We've run Brisbane and forced Brisbane to play good footy,
Yeah. Brisbane, North
and
Melbourne. They're
and we've beaten
together
the
teams.
Crows. And before the game, everyone's going, the Crows are the favourite, Crows are the favourite. And then after the game, Port wins, and everyone's going, oh, well, the Crows were a bit out of form, and Port
Of
had been
course.
playing good
Yours.
footy. It's like, well, yeah,
Whatever.
Captain Hindsight is always going to be right, but it's there's so
Excuses.
much
Excuses.
that the players can take away. So you'd hope that the pre-season, and like not wanting to preempt it too much, but I'd expect the pre-season focuses on the positives. But the carrot is that we need to be able to play it for four quarters. Otherwise, we have the risk of these kind of results. And because the season is so short, um, we had three games that if we flipped it on its head, we'd be top four.
Yeah.
And so the competition is relatively close. But if the results don't go your way, then you find yourself not playing finals. And um, we've shown that we've got a good squad, and the newer players to the side have shown that they're capable of playing good football. It's just about finding that consistency, and the last little bit we have. I mean, the last several weeks, we've had some great results, and that's on the back end of hard work. It's just that,
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully they can build on that, so that at the start of next year, that's where our starting point is, not sort of working into the season.
Well,
So yeah, so there's
let's go
plenty
to
to take out of it.
well said, and let's just see how much of that aligns with Coach's Corner. Well, I guess you would have heard Lauren's presser post match.
Yes, yeah.
Yep. So I'll leave it with you first to express just your thoughts on the presser, and then I'll just elaborate on some of the stuff which probably aligns with what you're saying. And yeah, so let's just
Yeah.
kick off with your
So
thoughts.
the main things that Lauren said was that, well, one, this is kind of 4 years of work that's come to fruition.
Yeah.
But if you look at the immediate side of things, she pointed back to the Brisbane game. We forced Brisbane to have to play good footy to put us away, and we built on that. And this is the result of that hard work and playing Port footy, but playing Port footy for as close to four quarters as possible. And yeah, the result, if anything, the result probably flatters the Crows a bit, because Port were the better side for a longer period of time.
Good point.
But
That's
yeah, Lauren wanted to focus on the fact that this is the result of the
yeah.
side sort of learning as the season's gone on. And maturity, and again, if we don't have the youngest list, we've got one of the youngest lists. So a good run of injury. We've got a talented squad for the next sort of 3 to 6 years.
Absolutely. Yeah, so yeah, she, as I said, you're right. She recognised the history of it and so the importance of it, of actually beating this team, and she expressed her pride just in as you say, the team's maturity and growth, following that win as well. So, and as she said, a defining moment in the club's journey. So, yeah, I guess as you say, she kind of recognised some of the players as well for yeah, as you say, Jazz Stewart, Tahu, Abby standing out. So that they're leading the team and inspiring. It's really it's flowing through the team, the confidence, and so it's just a well-oiled machine, I guess, in some ways. The team.
Absolutely.
It's nice when the team kind of take that ownership. Yeah. So
Now, the other thing that she did comment on as well was that the Crows, when they went for that, like trying to the physicality,
yeah,
that it wasn't just individuals; it was the team stood up for themselves, and that probably is a defining thing as well. In that the Crows hadn't felt threatened previously, so they hadn't needed to go the niggle, whereas we were well on top, so they had a few of their players trying to put us off, and it just, if anything, it made us more steely and work even harder for longer. So. Yeah, no, all
well done.
fantastic positives to take out of the game. Yeah, GWS on the road.
Yeah,
It would be nice for them to reward themselves with a win to finish off the season.
yeah, true.
So that they've got that momentum, and just shows that you do the hard work, you get the results. So that again, that hopefully acts as an impetus for the pre-season for next year.
Absolutely. No worries. Well, I'll leave you to organise a podcast for next week, set up something. So we look forward to seeing that for next week for the GWS game. And then we'll get together in a few weeks' time for a season review. All right, Gavin, mate, thank you very much. We'll see you, everyone apart from myself, the rest of us will all see you next week on the She's Got the Power podcast. Until next week,
Go the power.
go the power.